Star Wars Rivals is a new expandable game system where players play head-to-head as their favorite Star Wars characters over iconic locations in an epic battle between dark and light.
The core theme of light side versus dark side, which has really integrated in everything that Star Wars has been about, is well represented in this game, and from the outset will feel like you are immediately dropped into the Star Wars universe.
Working with Lucasfilm to develop the look of this new sculpted figures. And so we really worked closely with them to develop the style that could be unique and ownable to Star Wars Rivals.
The team you put together is from all across the content universe. So Darth Vader doesn't have to just play with the Emperor or Boba Fett. He can also join up with Asajj Ventress, who's from a completely different era of Star Wars. For us to create a game for two people to take on those sides was really, it was inspiring because we had the opportunity to dig into all the content. You know, we wanted them to feel the game, not just play the game.
When I met with the team for the initial design, I mentioned I wanted a simple rules framework. So something like each character, you put them at the location you want, then you play one card a turn, and that's kind of been a thing we stuck to the whole time. And then the cards themselves can have all these references and cool, more complicated, robust actions without making it hard to teach the game to newcomers.
It was so exciting to be at Star Wars Celebration and get to hear from the fans about their favorites. We're getting that feedback now where people are really connecting with the game. It's very gratifying.
When we were making the decisions around the characters and locations we were going to choose, we really had to take into account the die-hard fans as well as the casual fans.
So when you think about Star Wars as 45 years of storytelling, the challenge is to take all of that and figure out what to put in the first game series.
I grew up with the original trilogy, and then we know that there are people who also grew up with the Clone Wars and the prequels as their first series. And we have kids today that grew up with the sequels and the current Disney Plus content that's their Star Wars. So because of that, it's actually just making sure we pick a good batch of people from across all over the Star Wars content.
It was so fun to see people discovering things that we built into the game.
One of the things when we started deep diving into the design of the game, we really wanted to make sure that we had quotes from the movies because it's fun to sit around and quote the movies. We wanted to make sure that those quotes tied in with the powers that your character had.
Vader has an action card where he causes his opponent to discard his hand, referencing when he cuts off Luke's hand.
Even things like when we sculpted Snoke, we made sure his little Moroccan slippers are sticking out from underneath his cloak that you don't really get to see in the movie, but we got to see it in the content when we were looking at it, and we wanted to make sure that we had it in there because there's a little bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge that's going on there. Hopefully people will see the love and care we put into it and know that it was made by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans.